So, of course, first things first. Here we go. So we want to look at what our purpose is in this team comp. I want you to think. I can't ask you for an answer, but I want you to think, what is my idea behind picking Mercy right now? And of course, picking Mercy just because I think she's neat and I want to play Mercy is totally fine, but why are you playing Mercy? So if we look at this team comp, you can be damage boosting the Hanzo, and you are the primary healing source for our Pharah. So if we think about what we have, we can already start making a plan. So we're gonna stick around with the Pharah. Kiriko is gonna be around our Hanzo, and she's gonna be the one who's gonna focus on healing our tank. But she's gonna play around our Hanzo because our Hanzo and our Pharah don't want to play in the same position, and our Hanzo and our Orisa don't necessarily want to play in the same position, even though they can. So as we go into the team, the fight, we keep this in mind. I'm gonna stay around Pharah. I'm gonna go to Hanzo, but our Kiriko is the one who's gonna have to heal our Orisa, and she's gonna be the one to heal our Hanzo. I can go there if I need to, but I'm around Pharah. What are my escapes? I can go to our tank. She's gonna take a lot of heat, so probably our Hanzo Kiriko combo is gonna be the best escape for me.
One. Attackers incoming.
I'm here to support. Escort. Amplifying your power.
Generally, I don't like super jumping like into the air, even though this is fine because if you pay attention, now we know they have Hanzo, Ramatra, and Ipsico is Lucio. You see this because you went up here, but that also means that there's two people you don't know who are their second support and their second DPS. I of course can see right now that one person is FK, but that could mean that they have a flanker, so already I want to pay attention. And I don't know if you know this, at 3:45, which is after 15 seconds, you can see who the enemies are by having pressing tab. But right now, they could have a flanker, so I'm gonna pay attention and be afraid. She could come through, let's say Tracer Genji, they could come through the corridor in front of you, where the bridge is, or they could come from behind you, so keep that in mind. That's fine, go with her. Go here. I think you should be able to hear me, but I'm just gonna pause anyways. Kind of anticipate her rockets, because the damage boost is applied when she shoots, not when the rocket hits. So if you damage boost, she shoots the rocket and you heal, by the time the rocket hits the ground, it's still a damage boosted rocket. So that's something to keep in mind. You can switch between healing and damaging in this way. But staying here with her, that's good. Now we just need to finish off these two targets. You know that they have Lucio Ana, so that should be very easy for us. It just depends on what our Pharah does. We just want to stay safe. We don't know where their second DPS is. Keep that in mind because that is dangerous. You could press tab and see that they have one AFK, but you want to keep that in mind. Maybe there's a Widowmaker. You see how we're completely in the open right now. She could be over here, like shooting. She could be over here, kind of late. Boom. She could be over here. They find out that we're behind us and she comes out. There's a lot of places that she could be. This is dangerous because we don't actually know who their second DPS is.
Damage intensified.
Good, stay here, but use natural cover. Just like Pharah can use natural cover, you want to be safe too. Stay up here. I'm assuming this is gonna keep going for the rest of the game. You're not really looking at anything, so I'm gonna point that out when it happens later in the game, but now you can also keep track of it. So for now I'm just gonna leave it at that comment, and I'll tell you why that's bad later.
You'll be fine now.
Now it's here, goes here. She shouldn't have to be.
Be uplifted.
That's unfair. There, you see, now they have a tracer. We heard her, but also now we know that they have a flanker, which is, like I said before, if they had a flanker, we want to keep track of those flank angles. And this is why you don't want to be looking here. You don't want to be looking at the Pharah, because you know where she is. The beam goes to her. But you can be looking at the soldier. You can be looking behind you. Is the tracer coming up here? You could be looking over here. Because you have the indicator. Look at that. You have the indicator. Even if you look behind her, which tells you that the Pharah is currently at almost full health. She's like at 160. 80. Not 80. Yeah, 60, 70, something like that. Each block is 25 health. I assume you already know this, but each block is 25. She's missing one block, so she's doing pretty okay. But this is why I don't want you to just look at nothing. Good movement. Now we're being shot at, so we want to be safe. She did die, but as soon as I get shot at, the whole team is dead. We should keep track of that, but as soon as I get shot at, I go straight for natural cover, like this bridge up here, the balcony.
Great work. They'll need to recover from that.
Fine, we just want to get away from the soldier. Get up to the window.
This will just take a moment.
Get up here. Nobody on the enemy team can get up here except for the Bab, but he's busy healing. You can break this, heal the Pharah, and if Bab comes up here, you can just Guardian Angel back to your team or up to the Pharah. So you don't have to worry about staying in the air if you just go here, because generally we want to make the game as easy for us and as difficult for the enemies as possible. We make it difficult by boosting the Pharah. We make it easy by putting ourselves in a ledge where we don't have to think about, oh shit, I'm falling down. Just like this. That's really good. She doesn't need to be full health, but it's fine that you put her to full health. Now we just keep pushing this.
Help me move the payload.
That's fine. Stay with the team. We don't have to worry about Pharah for now. Stay with the Rissa. Stay with the Rissa. You're the only healer for her. Because you heard Kiriko on point and she was healing you and you don't see her in front of you, you know that you're the only healer for our Rissa. So especially if she goes into here, which I don't know why she would hide here, because she's not hiding from the enemy, she's only hiding for our team. You want to be in position where you can like jiggle peek her so you don't get shot from those enemies. Yes, there was one here, but he's not really a threat because our whole team is there. So you can just heal the Orisa, keep her safe, then you can go in and fly to the Pharah this way. So in this case, I think you're tunneling a little bit too hard on the pocketing part of Mercy's kit. Now you're in the open, and now you're stuck. It worked out because the enemies were falling away, but you didn't actually need to leave here. Watch this. So we come up here. We go up to Pharah. See, you could have gone into Orisa and then fly up here. So we go up here. Stay there. Stay there. You're safe. Nobody's there. Nobody's coming up behind you. This is a super good position. Just stay in here. The Guardian Angel, and especially the super jump, this is why I don't like it. It's, no offense, it's a way for Mercy players to feel like they're doing more than they're actually doing. It's like if you're looking at Genjis, who's jumping, dashing, deflecting, right-clicking, left-clicking, and double jumping, and he has super high action per minute, APM. He's doing so many things all at once. If you compare that to Mercy, who can actually literally just stand here and get almost the full value of her kit. Just stand here, heal Pharah, boost Pharah. It feels like Mercy is not doing anything compared to Genji or Pharah or any other character. So people just tend to use Guardian Angel for no reason. I don't want you to do that. You could have been safe in that window, and if Pharah go for like a sick play, she boosts over here and starts shooting the Cassidy from this side, then you can Guardian Angel over to her and be safe back here. There's a Mega, you can be like here. If they start shooting at you, you drop, you have the boxes. But going up here is dangerous, and you should have been punished for it, but the enemies miss a lot of shots. See? I don't know why they didn't just push this, because they absolutely, like Bab and Cassidy could have just walked over here. They were at this puddle and they decided to go left. They could have just walked over here and shot you and you would have been dead. So if you're safe and you don't need to use Guardian Angel or Super Jump, I don't want you to Super Jump. Guardian Angel, fine, but there's 3 different types of Guardian Angel. The one where you cancel it, the one where you press space and go flying forward, and the one when you crouch and go into the air. You should learn when the 3 different types make a difference. So this is fine. Here. Not here because the soldier can see you, but right here. You can just stay here. You look at the Pharah, you look this way, Hanzo is here. I don't see any enemies. Okay, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. Oh, Hanzo took damage, I'm gonna heal him. Nobody can shoot me, I'm safe. Sure, a rocket right there could damage me, but I'm safe. Like 1 rocket's not gonna kill me. So I heal him, I heal her, I keep looking around. I'm healing her, I look this way. I'm healing him, I look the other way. Because you don't have to look at your target while you're healing, you can do other things. Press tab. We have 3 different ultimates and Kiriko coming up. How am I gonna use them? So I think we're gonna use ultimates in the next fight, but we don't need to because we got a kill. But we should absolutely be thinking about this. I don't know if you have practiced tracking ultimates, so I'm just gonna give you a small guide on how you can start doing it. The easiest way is this one. I have my ultimate. I press tab. I can see our second support also almost has their ultimate. So it's almost directly translated to the enemies. I have my ultimate. One of their supports probably also has their ultimate. I can see now that the Lucio switched and the Ana as well, so they're a little bit behind, but at least one of them. They had Bab for a long time. They just switched to Moira, so Bab probably is about between 80% and 100% ultimate charge. So you can keep track of your counterpart on the enemy team. Their main healer is probably going to be around the same place as your main healer. Their flex healer or off healer is going to be around the same place as your off healer. When you get more comfortable doing this, you can do the same. Our tank has their ultimate. Their tank is probably also about to have their ultimate. Our DPS has their ultimate. Their DPS is about to have their ultimate, you see. We did use Barrage before, but that's a little special because we've been damage boosting her. And also they switched the Cassidy, so he's a little bit behind. But it's roughly a 1-to-1 translation, so you can keep track of ultimates like this. And that is learning game sense. But how are we gonna use our ultimates for this next fight? We could just roll them right now if everybody's in position. We can win this fight just with Valkyrie. We don't need Dragon, we don't need Orisa ult, but they need to be in position. So we look through the wall. Ramatsura is there, but we can't see him. Orisa's over there. We have 2 people on point. We have Hanzo and we have Pharah. We did see Soldier because he shot us. So there's 2 people we don't know, and we know 1 person is dead. And they're there. So either you can ask for a sonar. Ask him like, can you sonar here, please? And then you see these people. that tells you we're not in position to ult, and then we just keep doing what we're doing right now. As soon as our team is ready, we can just pop Valkyrie. Because Hanzo was safe, we should have probably been on the Pharah, but you did get the res, and it was a safe res, so it works out. It's just not the best situation. Let's see. Oh, that's the Moira. Okay. Yeah, damage boosting this. I'm not entirely sure how it works, the interaction, but I think it's fine. You want to get out of that as quick as possible. You were almost out and then you decided to get to the other side. You can... Guardian Angel is absolutely not affected by the ability at all. So if you're trying to Guardian Angel to someone in the air, you slide along the ground until you're out of the ability, and then you just keep going straight up into the person you're flying to. So you can get out of that easy, but you don't want to stay inside it. So no ult, we already won this fight. And they have an Ashe. We have time to press tab right now. What is our plan for the next fight? Our tank should be up there holding. We should have people up there holding. Hanzo should be up here on the high ground. We go in with the Pharah. We keep Kiriko on point. This is a macro strategy. So we keep them on point. They push up, and then we push the card all the way up here. We don't want to stay on point right now. See, they just get into position. We did AFK a little bit, but it's fine. He didn't actually kill us. Drop them. It's good, just stay here because we're harassing the enemy. Stay away from the soldier, that's good. Stay with her. Oh. Because there's an enemy here, you saw the Pharah, and I think it's gonna last for 3 seconds before the beam disconnects. You can just go through here and we'll see, like, are we actually kind of fucked. Right now you're pushing into Moira, and you're probably gonna lose most of your health, and you fly into the Ramatra ult and die. Oh, you survived, okay. Stay out of line of sight from the Bastion. Yeah, be careful you don't tunnel too hard on the pocketing. But that was a really good fight. It should have been kind of lost. And that happens because we didn't make a plan before going into this fight. If our team had been in position, we could get into position better. Then we could have planned, okay, let's use Kiriko ult when they're about to recontest, and then we go in and we kill them. It was a good plan to go in with the Pharah, but because our tank was not in position, the enemies just turned on the Pharah and we died, almost died. Leave her up there. It's fine. Her respawn is so close, so don't worry about the rest. Yeah, don't worry about the rest. We lost track of what's going on. So, like I said, I would come back to it. This is why you want to look around. Instead of just looking God knows where. You would have seen you were surrounded. Even if the soldier went in here, your whole team was with you. So I don't think going out was the right choice. You could have gone in here, tank is right there, you had a DPS in here with you as well, and then you killed the soldier. Just get that shit. Look around, what's your team doing? We lost 2 people. You're lucky this soldier is bad, but we cannot just ignore him. So if he's shooting at us, we have to pay attention. We have to do something about it, like walking into the staircase or behind the boxes, like anything. That was a good escape. We're leaving everything to die. Don't tunnel. That's fine. We have 2 kills, so that's good. This is a fight we should push. Go with the Pharah. That's on Pharah. You don't want to rest this. Alright. The enemies made a mistake. There's a Moira next to you. Ramatra should have stayed up here. Bastion should have fallen back, but he could still shoot at you from the window over there. Going for this res is still dangerous because the enemies are right next to us. If they were back where the Bastion was, this res would have been absolutely fine. But this was a res that worked because the enemies made a mistake. That's fine, leave the Hanzo. Kiriko has to do her job. It's fine, but we should have been with the Pharah. Kiriko should have done her job. So I see a couple of mistakes that are not actually your fault. It happens because our teammates are not doing their job. So like this, yes, we should have done a little bit of healing on the point, but our Pharah decided to just push in and suicide run. That forces us to go to the Pharah. The Hanzo is low, but the Kiriko is for some reason not healing him. You could have just left him because you're safe. Stay with the Pharah for this situation. Because you don't have to do everything yourself. You have a secondary support. If they are trash, that's on them. You can kind of make up for it, but you also want to stick to doing your thing. Sometimes you have to make up for the other support, but you don't always have to do it. So you see where your tank is. This is about having to pay attention. Our tank is the most aggressive player right now, so being with our tank is actually a better call than being with our Pharah, because they didn't shoot at her, but she should have been dead. She even got a kill that should not have happened. She's like at full health. Since Kiriko is back here, don't worry about the Pharah. Stay with the tank. The tank has needed your help for this entire team fight. So right now, the tank is actually doing her job, but because we're not supporting her, she's like, oh shit, this is dangerous, I'm backing out. And then she's gonna play like a coward, and that might actually end up costing you the game, because now she doesn't trust the support. So, tunnel visioning on this, the DPS. Right now our tank actually needs our help more than this Pharah.
Here to assist.
Stick with our tank because our Kiriko's in there. We lost our tank. And now we also lose our Pharah. Alright, we're out, keep running. We shouldn't be dealing with this. Well, now we're back in because Hanzo decided to pop off. Good call. We go in with that, that's good. Because no one else is pushing in, we stick on the Pharah. Double ult. Look at the other door. You see, you don't actually know if someone else walked out. You don't have to look at this. Pharah's looking at this door. You're healing the Pharah. The beam doesn't disconnect if you stop looking at her. So heal her and look over there. Is there something I have to be afraid of? Is someone ready to touch? Do I have to make a call out? All of these things, you're like looking here because someone is already looking there. Right now you're just kind of pocket botting. It's like watching Bree pocket what's his name, Wong, but you don't actually need to do that. It's a good thing. Like, this Pharah is getting a lot of value because you're pocketing her, but everybody else is kind of getting less value because you're pocketing her. Like when I said the over here, so you go with her, ignore the Hanzo because that's Kiriko's job. She barrages, but then our tank decides to go in. So Farah's walking out. Our tank is going in. We have a new target. We're gonna stick on the tank. She goes in. She gets the Moira. That's a huge pick. Even if you don't go this way, but you go the other way, heal her from here, and you have an escape. That's also fine. But over here, she's the only one who goes in, so you go in with her with your ult. That's absolutely the best call. But you heal her / damage her, and then you look over here like, is there something else for me to pay attention to? Just jumping and moving and healing the same target isn't actually doing more. It's just artificially inflating your APM. So this round was very good, and I'm wondering how you're actually gonna lose this. So let's see.
Ready for battle.
40 seconds, we go to defense.
Ready for battle. Ready.
40 seconds. Here we go.
Ready for battle.
Hi.
So we're making a sneaky play, but the person up here can actually see us. Can I see it from here? Yep. You can see. So we're being sneaky, fine, but they can actually see us. And you as well. She doesn't even... There's a Widowmaker here. You can hear her footsteps. But she doesn't need to shoot at this Pharah. She can one-shot you from here. As soon as the door opens, she just shoots you. So what your Pharah should have done was go up here, and you and Pharah can stick here and just hover glide. Just stay here until the wall opens. Right now you're kind of in danger. Let's see what the Widowmaker does. Our team comp is the same, so sticking with the Pharah I think is a good call.
3, 2, 1.
I think your capabilities.
You see her, and you get away, that's good. Just be careful you don't get in her face. So yeah, that was basically what had to happen. But you're safe, so that's good. Now we stay back here. Orisa also actually does a lot of damage when damage boosted, so you don't have to DPS boost. Oh, where are you going? I think staying up here would have been fine. You're almost dead. If you just stay up here, there's no reason to Guardian Angel down. If you want to go down, just drop. And then you can Guardian Angel and crouch back up here. But while you're down here, you don't need to look at this. You can look at this, but you can look over there. Someone else should be doing that. You can look up there. Is the Widowmaker actually going upstairs? They have a Widow, so is that actually dangerous? You can look over here. You have so many places to look, and none of them require your teammates to be in front of you. So don't jump into that. Why did you do that? Just stay up there. You lost all your health because you decided to GA down, and then you decided to drop off again. You didn't actually need to do that. You can stay up on that high ground and do the exact same job. So our team is popping off, that's fine. Now they only have one healer. Our team also needs to realize that they have a Widowmaker.
Careful, we're outnumbered.
That's on them. They are not playing in a good position for the Widow.
Hello.
She should, yeah.
I'll have you in top condition.
Nice.
I'm grateful. Powered up.
So you hear the Pharah above you, look up. See, this is once again one of those things where you don't need to look at the target you're healing. Is the Widowmaker over here? You don't know. The Pharah is above you, but you don't know. You heard her, but you don't actually look at her. So you don't need to look at these guys. You could have looked up and been like, oh shit, my best friend is up there. Or look over there. Okay, there's no Widowmaker. Up, there's no Widowmaker. Now you're looking for her, that's good. So we go up here. Heal her. Because she's going into the Widowmaker without actually knowing where the Widowmaker is, I would be healing her just in case the Widowmaker is ready for her. So when she takes that first shot, you're already healing.
I'm here to help.
That's unfortunate. This is your team's fault. The res is questionable because the Ramatra could actually just walk into you. or someone could be standing over there. The Widowmaker should actually either there or here. If the Widow's here, the soldier should have been here, and you would have died. Actually, you have the immortality, the bell, so you can survive this, but this is very dangerous. This is again enemy team making a mistake. That's why it works, not actually your team. The Pharah made a play that could have worked. It's just that our team didn't actually push in, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, you lose half your health. You don't need. Why did you Guardian Angel? What if the Widowmaker had been, or a soldier had won? What if their Kiriko had decided to go over here? And then you take damage and you're like, oh shit, my Guardian Angel is on cooldown. You didn't need to do this. This was back to what I said, like artificially inflating your actions per minute. This is fine, get out of line of bounds, that's kind of need to, but the Kiriko should go in there. Pharah deciding to push into this was actually on her because you're not in position to help her. So let's go back and look at this. Yes, her. She goes this way, but we're not in position to help her. So this is a Hail Mary from her, but that's on her. If she had stayed in there or maybe go upstairs, it could have actually worked.
Be uplifted.
So here we got Wizard going in, we have Kiriko. Oh, wrong button. She's up there, she needs help. Kiriko could have gone to help her. Now she should TP into this and keep her up while you stay with the Hanzo. Orisa went too deep, but the only way we win this fight is if Kiriko does her job, not you. That's unfortunate.
Be uplifted.
Yes, Orisa's in the wrong position. Go to there, behind the wall, behind the wall. So you fly in, cancel the Guardian Angel by pressing shift again. You connect the beam and then you stay here. So you can see the Orisa, but you cannot see the soldier. This whole fight we shouldn't take it because their spawn is right there. Orisa went the wrong way. She's gonna die, so you just get out of there. Don't even look at this, just run away.
Healing stream connected.
Just run away, we don't want to take this fight. Especially because they have a Widowmaker. And now they have sight. You don't want to enable this behavior. Kiriko is making a mistake. So now we have a Widowmaker. In low rank, damage boosted Widowmaker doesn't actually do anything. In higher ranks, 60% charge is enough to kill someone with a headshot, and damage boosting takes it down to somewhere around like 50% or 45 maybe, something like that. I don't remember the exact number. So you don't have to worry about this Widowmaker at all. You want to stay around the Hanzo. Kiriko can also play around the Hanzo, but now our job in this team cup kind of changed. So let's see how you play this. Yeah, don't damage boost it.
Enhancing your strength.
Because our whole team went up here, you didn't actually need to fly back to the Hanzo. You could have just healed him from here. The Kiriko is with the Orisa, so yeah, we don't need to go with this. But we lost our Widowmaker. Our Hanzo shouldn't have dropped here because this is a strong position for him. And we have to pay attention to what our team is doing.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Don't Guardian Angel into this, and unless your beam disconnects, don't Guardian Angel into Ramatra's ult. Because you're already safe, you have 45 meters leash, which is the same as Moira ult. And if you think about how, or Roadhog hook, So you can actually stay very far away and still connect to people. You die again. Okay, so we're winning this fight. Good. And then we push in. Yeah, just damage with this, stay on him. But ignore the Widowmaker. And like I said with the Pharah, you damage boost when he's shooting, and then you heal in between. Yeah. But you see, looking at him doesn't actually do anything for you. Whoop. You could be looking at the door down here and see, is anybody coming through? Look up there, like, okay, nothing is happening. Boop, nope, nope, okay. You have people over there, so you don't actually need to worry about this. But you should not be looking at the Hanzo. You see where everybody is? Why did we go over here? So we dragoned. We should find a target that we can damage boost, because the dragon is gonna split someone off. So he's still getting healing, but he's not running anywhere. Are you connected to the Widow? You're connected to the Widow. It's fine, but she's gonna kill him with or without your boost. So I would go to this Orisa and just damage boost her to make this Ramatra fuck off.
Our combined strength is quite impressive.
You didn't need the Guardian Angel. Oh, dangerous. Are they up Widow? Yes, they have something now. So find the Hanzo. You want to be in there with the Hanzo. This is dangerous. I don't know if you press tab, but Sombra could be up. I am a fucking genius. Yeah, Sombra's here. I was about to say she could be here. She hacks you and shoots you, and you're like, oh no, what do I do? But Hanzo gets you more value, and you're in the open. So if someone comes from that right side or walks out here, they could technically ignore your Orisa and go shoot you.
Checking in. Supplying damage increase.
You can just melee it. If you keep your beam connected, then in case she takes damage, you just melee the translocator and you reconnect faster than pulling out your pistol. I don't know why they hate Mercy so much, but pulling out your pistol takes so much time and someone can die before you get your staff out. So you see how unsafe this position is? There's no cover for you. So be inside or be like up there where the Widow is. Heal from here. Not the best position because you can take damage, but out here, super dangerous. Don't be here for no reason. This is fine, but what are you looking at? You're lucky you survived that, but what were you actually looking at? This is why I want you to not look at the person you're healing. It's almost you might as well just let go of the mouse and just play WASD. You heard the Sombra? Alright, that's good. You already have your GA out. So, I'm sure you know this. GA is basically just about, I don't remember the name of the game, but you kind of just want to play wherever there's the most people. That's where my beam goes, or not GA, Valkyrie ultimate, sorry. Wherever there's the most people, I just put my ultimate in the middle and it connects to as many people as possible. In this case, Orisa is kind of out of position because nobody can help her. Do we have a death? Wait. Oh, there she is. Yeah, only Widowmaker can really help her, but she's kind of out of position right now. Yeah, stick on there. So this is dangerous. This is super dangerous. Yes, you survive, but Widowmaker kind of Diva kind of overextended to kill your Widowmaker, but you still have, you had 2 people right here already looking at you, and they could actually kill you. You're in the middle of their team.
Not on my watch.
It ends up working out, but you see how as soon as you rest her, you have to bail her. So now she had to use her gold form just to survive that rest, because normally you want to stay there and help the person you rest so they're safe. But you can't do that because 2 people are already shooting at you, plus the Diva. So super dangerous rest. It worked out because the enemies are bad, but it's one of those high risk, medium reward plays that might work sometimes. Look around. Go there. You see people up above you.
Feeling more powerful? Here to
Okay, so now that we have a couple of kills, our Rissa is super deep. That's on her. Kiriko can heal that. Don't fly over there. But we want to get into a safe position and press tab. We want to make a plan. What are we going to do? What ultimates do we have? What ultimates do they have? This is the time for you to do all of that. Yes, there's 2 people there, but now that the enemies aren't their spawn, we need a plan for the next fight. Otherwise, it's going to be another scrappy fight. This was super scrappy. We used a lot of ultimates. They didn't use any ultimates. They just switched off both their DPS. But they kind of took a dry fight, and we just used every ultimate. We used the res. We just used every resource we had to try and stabilize this fight. We did win the fight, but at such a great cost that it was almost better to just lose it. So we're safe now. Stay down here, or you can help her, but you want to take this time to make a plan. We have Kiriko ult. Are we gonna stop them when they walk in? Are we going to counter Kiriko ult? It's been a while since she switched to Diva. She's about to have her ultimate. They're about to have BAP ult. They have Kiriko ult. So they're gonna win the next team fight because they forced us to make so many mistakes this team fight, the previous one. So how are we gonna deal this? Are we gonna make an early Kiriko ult, try and see if we can get like 1 or 2 picks and then force them to use ultimates? Like, what is our plan right now? Find this Reaper. He just TP'd. You have to make sure he's not like here or over here. You want to find him in some sense. Widowmaker's going that way. Then maybe consider going with her. When you see this is clear, you want to play around here and then be able to fly back to your team or go with the Hanzo. Reaper TP'd out. Yes. But you didn't actually know that. So you want to make sure that he's not actually still behind you. Go with the Hanzo. Nice. You didn't have to drop. Neither you nor the Hanzo. Yeah, stay with the Hanzo. Widow should play further back and Kiriko should support your tank. You play with the Hanzo in this case.
checking in.
Why did you fly to Orisa and use Guardian Angel if you're not gonna actually help her? She did need your help. She should not be face tanking a Reaper. So yes, she is a bot. That is on her, not you. But she still needed your help. And you're kind of just confused about what's going on right now. This comes down to not having a plan. We could have killed the Reaper and the BAP and the Diva with the Kiriko ult. Then send them back to spawn. And then the next 2 people come in. We stagger them, get closer to overtime. And when it's closer to overtime, they make mistakes. We just waited for them to get all their ultimates and they're gonna win this team fight.
Supplying
So it's time to go back. We lost our tank. Resing the tank here is a really bad idea. This was such a good play from the Hanzo. We can stabilize this, but we don't want to be in front of the window. He just used it. We just heard it. It's fine to give up this space. Let them come over here. We take this high ground and staircase, and then we take the fight from here. We don't need to win this fight right now. We can win it before, like at the corner, this corner. We need to win it before it gets to this point. And by that time, our wrist is gonna be back. So we don't need to win this fight.
I'll make sure that doesn't stop. Got you.
We just wasted 2 ultimates. Okay. So they somehow used 3 different ultimates with no real value, but we also used 2 ultimates for no real reason. You could say it's stalling, but we could have stalled by just walking backwards. And an ultimate that takes at least 30 seconds to farm is a lot less, it's a lot more expensive than just walking backwards.
Right by you.
Yeah, D.Va just went in. You didn't actually know who was with you. And this comes from just looking forward. So keep your head on a swivel if you're like, Widow's here, I see my whole team is over there. Okay, D.Va flies in. I'm just gonna leave because Widow is gonna grapple out of there. But you don't know if you just left Kiriko there for no reason. But now there's a D.Va behind you. Helping the Hanzo, yes, good idea, but you could have let the Widowmaker die. This was kind of a panic ult because you went in and Hanzo was low and you're like, oh shit, they're pushing us. But once again, it happens because you don't have a plan. Was the plan, okay, let's stabilize. After the D.Va bomb, I use Valkyrie. Then the Valk is late. Is the plan, okay, we're gonna get a kill and then I'm gonna use Valkyrie? You didn't get a kill. Is the plan a reaction to Hanzo dying? I'm gonna use Valkyrie to try and get that extra damage in. That is fine, but then it should have been a plan, like as soon as he died, you're like, oh shit, damn, Valkyrie. It's something that should have been in the back of your mind instead of, oh no, I'm taking damage, I'm gonna Valk. We have 2 people over there. We have 1 person here and 1 dead. She's gonna die to the Reaper, and we're not gonna get the value from our Valkyrie that we should have. And right now they could be pushing the payload for free, actually. I don't know why they're not doing that. Okay, we're back on point, that's good. Help the person on point because he's being targeted by the most people. The person up there is actually safe. So we wanted your Valkyrie on point. Yes, your Valkyrie on point. So you can deal with this, be up here, you see the Reaper and you're like, he's probably gonna ult. So it's unfortunate that they get so much value right at the end because we got 2 really good picks. But
Overtime.
oh, they even went to it. We kind of tunneled at healing the wrong person and left the people who actually needed
Healthy body,
help.
healthy mind.
There we go.
You call it? Let me see what I can do.
As we're walking out, you're not looking at anything. So you can look at the Orisa. She's gonna die. She has to die on point. This is her mistake. But where's the Widowmaker? She's over there. Are you able to help her? Right now you just see his foot, but are you able to help this Widowmaker? You should be preparing to do something as soon as you come out.
You call it?
Instead of reacting to her once you're in position. Look around. Where's your team? Kiriko's there. Hanzo's over there. You don't need to look at this. You're not even looking at the Widowmaker. You're just kind of looking at the map. So crosshair a little bit up here.
from my sight.
60 seconds remaining.
Nice, we have a shot. We just wait for our tank to come back.
Maintaining damage boost.
Now that she's back, this would have been a perfect place to use our Valkyrie. Now we want to push in.
Enhancing your strength.
She's safe, don't worry about her. Kill the baby diva, don't get into line of sight. This is Reaper's forte, that Orisa's out of position. Be ready to heal her. You're healing the wrong target. Yeah, that's fine, stay on him. Get out of line of sight. Yeah, that was bound to happen. I just want to hear if you can hear him. So now you hear Reaper again. Chase the Reaper, yeah, go with the team, that's fine. Once again,
Monstering you.
pocketing the wrong person. The person who needed your pocket there was the Orisa. So don't focus too hard on pocketing the DPS. Oh, that is super unfortunate. He shouldn't have done that because they had the window. Is this highway so they don't touch. Alright, really good. So let me summarize. The biggest things that I think you should work on is, well, you need to always be doing something, but don't do something just for the sake of doing it, like Guardian Angel crouch, like the super jump, stuff like that. Don't do it just for the sake of, oh, I'm not doing anything. And also it's the same for the rest. You only did it like once or twice. It's not too bad, but don't rest behind the enemies. Like res is often an ability that makes people turn off their brain, and instead of doing their job right, they're just like, oh, I can rest this. But it's not really a thing you need to fix. It's something you need to keep in mind. But not just doing something for the sake of doing it. More than once you just jumped into the enemy team, almost got yourself killed, or should have definitely been killed. So if you don't actually need to use Guardian Angel, don't just use it, especially not if you're safe. Using it to get information like you did in the beginning, where you just jump up and you see what the enemies are doing. Really good use for the Guardian Angel. Then you can see like, oh, okay, I see what the enemies have. I can react accordingly. Make plans more often. Sometimes the plan fails, but more often than not, if you have a plan, at least you have a direction that you want to act towards. Are you going to dry fight like the enemies did? Are you going to use one ultimate? Are you going to combo? Are you going to wait for an ultimate to happen and then use your own ultimate in response? Like, these type of plans are how you're gonna win the fight. Even a plan like, okay, we got the point here, let's hold up here so the card can push past the difficult choke, and then we can keep taking fights there. I'm gonna stick to the Pharah, blah blah blah, all of these. Make a plan and try as well as possible to stick to it. If it changes, be able to adapt. But right now it doesn't seem like you have an actual plan. You're just reacting to whatever's happening. And the third point, don't focus too hard on pocketing DPS. Pocketing is fine, damaging is fine. It's a good idea to do. It's like the majority of the value you get from Mercy. But you want to be more so ready to help the person who can get the most value. And most often, yes, that is going to be DPS, but as I pointed out a couple of times, you're just leaving your tank high and dry because you want to stay with the DPS. I don't remember if I said it, but I've said it so many times through the VOD. Don't just look at the person you're healing. Don't just look at the wall. You always want to look around. That's a part of making a plan. You want as much information as possible. And a part of that is just keep your head on a swivel, look around, especially if you're healing someone. Look at other directions. Just be sure that you're able to do something instead of waiting for something to happen and then reacting. So to reiterate, there was stop inflating your APM. Using Guardian Angel to like survive in a fight, good. Using Guardian Angel to survive in the poke phase, probably no reason. You're behind a wall anyways. Make a plan and keep your head on a swivel. I'm going to make those two one. And then don't focus too hard on pocketing your DPS. The way you're pocketing is good, but at times you're also focusing so hard on pocketing that you didn't actually do your job as a support player. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM. And if you need something like if you need me to clarify something, or if there's like a special use case that you're wondering, like, oh, but what about this situation? I will see if I can answer it as well as possible. But yeah, and have a good day.